Hello, everyone. I'm Symone Stanley here with RYZE Hoops. Today, I'm joined by Carter Wilson, and we're bringing you guys another great edition of the RYZE Recap. Carter, it was an exciting weekend of high school sports. How are you feeling after the weekend?
I'm good. It was a good week. A lot of players had good games, and a lot of teams had good weeks, and we're looking forward to the weekend.
Definitely. So a lot of players had a good game, but there was a lot of players that really stood out amongst the pack. So who did you have your eye on this week specifically?
I had my eye on Malique Ewin. Berkmar had a really good week. They went 3-0. Malik didn't play in one of those games, but the wins against Norcross and against Milton. You're talking about two really heavyweight wins, and he had a really good game in the win against Milton, 25-10, probably in the most important game on Berkmar's schedule, or the one that they really had marked. So, he really stood out. And I say this a lot when they talk about the 7A contenders. Like, he's the one player that you can't really replicate. Like, nobody else has a Malique Ewin. Like, that size, that skill level, that mobility. He's potentially the most dangerous player in 7A or in the state, because simply there's nobody else that's like him. So it's hard to match up with him. And, he was really impressive. Milton doesn't have a ton of size, and he definitely took advantage of it in that game. But it's good to see him do that.
So Malique Ewin is a matchup nightmare. That's what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
So for me, my top performer this week was Kaden Charles. So Caden Charles with the Allatoona Buccaneers. He had 35.6 rebound, 5 assist performance, and a 72-62 win over Sprayberry, my bad. So Kaden Charles has continuously been a top performer for us, especially in the fall league. That's where I got my first preview of Kaden. And the thing about Kaden, we really could feature him every week as a top performer, because he's a guy that does it night in and night out. I saw the next game, a game they had, I think yesterday, he had a 28-point performance. Every night, Kaden is going to be doing it on both ends of the floor. So we definitely had to highlight him this weekend. Floor general all the way around. And he's uncommitted right now. So definitely got to keep our eye on.
Yeah, he's definitely a special player. He's kind of a player that came up with our events. He's a guy that, kind of started to make his mark, and he wasn't on a ton of radars. And then like at May in the 2 live showcases, he was incredible. And I highlighted him actually on one of these videos that I was, looking forward to seeing him at the second live showcase. And then he just performed even better in that one. So he's a guy that, we've seen a ton of, and definitely two-way player, like you said. So he's a special player.
Definitely. Now let's look at some matchups. So what game really stood out to you this past week?
I thought West Forsyth scoring 89 points was impressive. We look at the 7A landscape of things, and we look at all the powerhouses, and it's normally the same kind of teams. It's, the Norcrosses, the Berkmars, the Miltons, and, we get kind of all those same teams. West Forsyth is a team that I think could potentially be a team a lot of other teams won't want to face. They shoot the ball really well. They have a good group of players. They have good size across the board. They go like 6'4", 6'4", 6'6", 6'7". So, they have good size pretty much across the board. Jake Mooney's been a guy that's been really good all year. Will Moore and Grant Moore are both very good. Caleb Lesh is another one that's been really good. Them putting up 89 is not a surprise at all. I think they could potentially do that against a lot of teams, and they're a team that we're not really talking about a whole lot in 7A, but we probably should be.
Definitely, especially if they're capable of putting up 89, 90 points on any given night. But yeah, we're going to keep our eye out on West Forsyth. Another team that we have to keep our eye out on is Jonesboro. Jonesboro is on a 4-game winning streak. So they just took down Westlake 73-56. And we talked before, Carter, about balanced scoring, and that is exactly what Jonesboro has been doing. So their leading scorer was Devin Rainey. He had 21 points in that win, but they also have 4 other guys in double digits. So Jonesboro is hot right now. Like I said, 4-game winning streak, and they have a lot of shooters, a lot of guys that can fill it up. A truly balanced attack that's definitely going to carry them in further into this regular season.
And Daniel Mailman's one of my favorite coaches in the state. Like the relentless style that Jonesboro has always been known for, like even back, MJ Walker in those days when they were winning state titles. I mean, they get after it on the defensive end. He's a coach that's not going to take a low motor and not trying hard. And he's going to let you know if you are playing like that for sure. So Jonesboro just plays that style that you're not going to want to face.
Definitely. So hopefully I don't, because I have a record of jinxing people. Hopefully I don't win a streak now that I spoke on it. So hopefully their trend continues. So let's talk about, we got 2 big tournaments this weekend, Play for Change tournament at Pace, and then the Lemon Street Classic as well. What matchup are you looking out for this weekend?
I'm definitely looking at Eagles Landing. They're a team that I haven't seen in person yet this year, and they're playing Pebblebrook on Saturday. And it seems like every game I mention about Pebblebrook, it's like a good guard matchup, but nobody's been able to really match up with their guards yet. Like the backcourt's just so deep and so talented. And then, I mean, you add a guy like Jayon Simon in the front court, and it makes things a little difficult for oppositions. But Eagles Landing's got a talented group coming off a state championship last year. Dave Thomas is a guy that can really score it in the backcourt. AJ Barnes plays really hard. He does a little bit of everything, and he's a guy that can fill it up too. So, I mean, it's a matchup that I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to seeing Eagles Landing for the first time in person this year. So they're going to be a team that I definitely have an eye on. And
that's at the Lemon Street?
That's at the Pace Academy Playing for a Change on Saturday.
So my matchup is also at the Pace Play for Change tournament. This is going to be a front court matchup in my mind. So you're talking about the backcourt matchup we're going to get in the Pebblebrook game, Eagles Landing game. I'm talking about a front court matchup between Cale and Green Forest. So I'm really going to be looking out for Peyton Marshall of Cale Longhorns and Guy Chol of Green Forest, 2 very dominant guys down low. Guy Chol has been racking up offer after offer after offer, and Peyton Marshall is really in his, I believe technically his sophomore year of high school, but he's still getting his feet wet in high school basketball and still getting his feet wet in with Cale, and that's the team I watched, of course, all fall league. So I'm definitely looking for that big on big.
Oh, if you like center matchups, that's definitely your game for sure.
Definitely. So we got a lot of good matchups. So like we said, front court, back court matchups we're going to be looking out for. But yes, so guys, this is Carter Wilson. I'm Symone Stanley. We're here with the RYZE recap of the week. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you guys are subscribed, commenting, liking, engaging. If you're on YouTube, turn your notification bells on so you won't miss a single video. And until we talk to you guys next time, thanks for watching.